I think I've figured out why people across the UK become inexplicably entranced and obsessed whenever snow or a major storm reaches our shores. You would think it had never happened before. If you were a tourist observing this country-wide shutdown, you wouldn't know that every winter we usually have at least 3 episodes of weather that prompt wall-to-wall news coverage and chaos. But I think I've cracked it, and the truth isn't only that we want to talk these snow babies up so we can get a day off work to stay in and keep warm before footage soon emerges of us on YouTube sledging, and let's be honest, we all did it last week. No, I've come to the conclusion that these extreme weather events give us all an opportunity to throw ourselves headfirst into something many of us feel we lack these days: community. The week began with me telling anyone who would listen that this was all hogwash. For once the east of Scotland was going to get a battering, but the west would emerge relatively unscathed. I once also predicted that Facebook would never take off, so the mystic megs of this world have nothing to worry about when it comes to my psychic career. By the middle of the week, I was working from home because none of my colleagues could get into the office, and when I decided to finally take the weather warning seriously and head to the shop for supplies, I wondered whether Scotland had been commissioned for a sequel to the disaster movie The Day After Tomorrow and no one had told us. I have genuinely never seen snow like it, except in the movies. It was coming down fast while snow mist simultaneously swirled into my eyes, into my ears and up my nose, making it impossible to know whether I was even still in Glasgow. I could barely see anything other than a wall of hazy whiteness in front of me, until, in the eerie silence of a city coming to a shuddering halt, a first bus wobbled past defiantly, apparently refusing to take defeat, total Glasgow style. I got home after an epic journey to Asda for milk and logged on to Twitter to gauge who might play me in the movie, and found sites that might never be topped. Just as the country reached the realization that this genuinely was an extreme weather event, a picture emerged of someone skiing down the city's Alexandra Parade early on Wednesday. Later, an actual igloo, was built in George Square, before someone promptly jumped on top of it for banter, sending Twitter into an outrage that even I could get on board with. Daft image after daft image emerged of adults behaving like bigger weens than the weens, and we resigned ourselves to the fact that this might actually go on for a while. And that was when it happened. That's when the realization hit me. On social media, we were all having a fabulous time together. There were jokes and banter between the journalists, weather forecasters and politicians who usually face nothing but abuse. People were even pouring out praise and thanks to ScoTrail, and God knows that never happens. When it became clear how serious the situation on the roads was for those trapped, people largely resisted the urge to brand them idiots for going out in the first place, and something quite beautiful happened. People, real human beings, in communities near affected roads and motorways started taking food, hot drinks and blankets to those stranded. Thanks to this technology that too often becomes a vehicle for us to hate one another, people were able to use their smartphones to appear live on television and speak of the kindness being shown to them by folk just like them, while emergency services battled the elements to try to find a solution. On a national scale, we were all pulling together, embracing the challenge. We were looking after one another and, most of all, we were having a laugh. And for those who had lost the reason to smile, those who were facing serious injuries or the deaths of loved ones, communities were ready to rally round. Togetherness. It's something we lament in a world that has lost its high streets and community centers, and become distracted by technologies that often harm our human tendencies. The story became one of community. It filled an emptiness we shouldn't need a crisis to fill, and it truly warmed the cockles of my heart.